Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. Welcome back to the channel. Now, the other day I touched on the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con drift lawsuit, where a class action lawsuit was being in progress, but Nintendo argued that Joy-Con drift was not a real issue. I gave my thoughts on it and stuff like that, and it seems like a lot of you guys had a lot of interesting things to say as well in the comments. It's no denying it. Joy-Con drift is real. It's a problem that a lot of us deal with, and a lot of us aren't too happy with it. Nintendo's just getting bombarded left and right with people upset about this. I mean, they have a class action lawsuit about it. So, I just found out some interesting news. I saw this headline this morning. Caught my attention. It's another lawsuit that Nintendo's involved in with Joy-Con drift. But there's an interesting development with it, and we'll get right to that real quick. If you haven't subscribed yet, why don't you click that red subscribe button down below. Enable your notifications so you don't miss any headlines, whether I'm talking about Nintendo, Sony, or Xbox. Let's go ahead and get right to the news. So here we go. Now Nintendo is being sued by a child over Joy-Con drift. Oh gosh. Nintendo is being sued by a child. A kid. What in the world? I mean, I need to get on this. This caught my attention. I was like, alright, I have to read this. So let's check it out. It says the Nintendo Switch controllers continue to cause problems. Nintendo is being sued by a boy and his mother over Joy-Con drift. So, wow. Where's my mom? Mom! I'm over here in the basement. Can you come down real quick? Let's talk about Joy-Con drift and let's sue Nintendo, please. Mom, get me cookies too. All right. The pair have filed a class action lawsuit against Nintendo, alleging that the company hasn't done enough to tackle the ongoing issue of Joy-Con drift. Joy-Con drift is essentially described as a fault in the controller which, after a period of use, causes the analog stick to engage without any input. So, some of us have experienced this. Me, not to extreme extent, but I have had Mario move around a little bit, oddly enough. Especially a little bit on the Pro Controller as well. It's not fun once you have it. Now, you can cotton swab the base of it, clean it up a little bit, stuff like that. It says this can lead to characters or reticles moving on screen, and it's annoying to say the least. Nintendo isn't the only one which has come under fire over drifting analog sticks either, with one man suing Microsoft over the same problem. So it's an analog stick problem, not just Nintendo, but Microsoft as well. So it says the most recent complaint filed against Nintendo describes how Luz Sanchez, the mother of the Switch playing child, noticed the Joy-Con were registering moments even when her son wasn't touching them within a month of buying the console. So within a month. That's actually pretty quick. Now, I know the class action lawsuit saying that Nintendo knowingly is putting these Joy-Cons out with the Joy-Cons being purposely made to be bad so that people would go out and buy more. Again, I stand by my statement. Where's people going after Apple? Because I swear to God, my iPhone breaks and my iPhone charging cables break every 4 months. So after a year, Sanchez said the Joy-Con drift became so pronounced that the controllers have been inoperable for general gameplay use. So after a year, she can't even use them. Sanchez stated that she subsequently bought another pair of Joy-Con, but just 7 months later, the issue of Joy-Con drift reared its ugly head again. So she went out, bought a second pair. 7 months later, Joy-Con drift came back. Even though Nintendo has already been sued over the troublesome and alleged defect multiple times, it's clear that this issue persists for many. Interestingly, Nintendo began fixing Joy-Con that exhibited drift for free, even after a user's warranty had expired. So they've been fixing Joy-Cons for quite some time for free, even though they claim that it's not real. So what is it? You're fixing the Joy-Cons out of the kindness of your heart? Just to shut people up, or what? Like, I don't get it. So it says in July 2019 that happened. So it's almost been, over a year. Many took this move as a sly admission that there was indeed an issue, and Nintendo has since apologized. So they also apologized. So they're fixing stuff for free. They apologize, and then now they're saying it's not a real issue. So it's like, denial. I have no idea. Anyways, Tokyo Drift. Despite Nintendo's willingness to offer free repairs, Sanchez's lawyers believe Nintendo hasn't done enough to warn consumers. Can you imagine being a consumer and getting that riled up over Joy-Con drift that you're going to sue? Sanchez must be pretty well loaded. Defendant continues to market and sell the products with full knowledge of the defect and without disclosing the Joy-Con drift defect to consumers in its marketing, promotion, or packaging, the complaint reads. So this is what they're saying, that Nintendo is continuing to market, sell the products with full knowledge that there is a Joy-Con defect and that they're not disclosing the Joy-Con drift defect to its customers in any of the marketing or anything involving Joy-Cons, which I guess from a point of view, they're correct on this. You can't deny that. That's a solid complaint in the lawsuit. So it says it doesn't help that Joy-Con are expensive to replace and cost $80 for a brand new pair. Joy-Con drift is especially problematic for Nintendo Switch Lite users, as the Joy-Con cannot be removed, meaning users have to send their whole console to Nintendo for repair. So yeah, Nintendo Switch Lite, the built-in Joy-Cons can't come off. So if they get Joy-Con drift, you're pretty much screwed. This goes on to conclude saying, it's becoming clear that sooner or later Nintendo will have to address Joy-Con drift in a more transparent fashion, as this continues to be a contentious and potentially costly issue for many Switch owners. Ooh, so a child and his mother are now suing over Joy-Con drift. Again, that's interesting to see an individual gathering a group of lawyers to sue a billion-dollar company like Nintendo. It's going to be a costly court, too. I mean, maybe as a part of a class action lawsuit, you're more likely to win, but to be individual like that with a group of lawyers might be a little difficult to beat Nintendo. Joy-Con drift is a real thing, though. I'm not going to say that it's fake and that people are exaggerating. I haven't gotten it to the extreme lengths, though, that some people have had. I tend to try to keep my hands clean and my controllers clean when I play, because dirt can get inside the bottom of the analog sticks on the Joy-Con and on the Pro controller and on the Xbox One controller as well. So I mean, it's all on maintenance. I think if you do low maintenance once in a while, you can avoid it. But nevertheless, I will say that there were instances where I've seen Joy-Con drift, and it is incredibly frustrating. I personally don't think I would go to the extent of suing Nintendo because of it, but some people are actually pretty fed up with it, and I guess if you can do it, do it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this situation down below? What are your thoughts on Joy-Con drift? What do you think about this mother and child going after Nintendo? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great day.